Hey guys, it's Zung, and today we are making 3 breakfast ideas. So whether you're into sweet or savory for breakfast, I've got you covered. So let's go ahead and get started with one of my latest favorites, baked oats. And I also want to thank Kroger for sponsoring this video. So this recipe is really easy. You just toss everything into a blender and then bake it off. So I'm going to start with my Simple Truth Organics rolled oats here. It's Kroger's private brand. And it doesn't really matter if you use rolled oats or quick oats. I am using rolled quick oats here, and I'm just gonna add it directly into the blender bowl. I love finding all of my pantry staples such as oatmeal at my local Ralph's, which is part of the Kroger brand. So I actually love this recipe because it's a pretty complete breakfast. You have oats, you have fruit, you have eggs in there too. So I'm just gonna add 1 egg directly in here. Then we have some milk, pinch of cinnamon, baking powder, and to sweeten it up, just a tiny bit of maple syrup. And then another really great use for your spotty bananas, just like a third of this banana. All right, so this is the base for your baked oats, and now I like to just change up the flavors, and my recent favorite that I'm really loving is a berry ginger combo. Like, you barely taste the ginger in there, but it's just very warming. So I'm just gonna add a tiny little chunk, maybe like 1/4 of an inch, about this big, and then we blend it up before adding in our berries. The great thing about this is that you don't have to worry about over mixing because there's no gluten, but you just want like a smooth batter. So I love integrating berries into my breakfast, and Ralph's has some of the sweetest, most delicious berries all season. I love blackberries, and I'm just gonna chop it in half, and then we're gonna add it to our baked oats, along with some blueberries. I want a burst of berry in every bite. And then I like to add some on top as well. A berry-licious baked oat. So now I just bake it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 15 to 18 minutes. You don't wanna dry it out because then it's not that good. So I always slightly under bake it, and it turns out perfectly. So once it's done baking, remove it and let it cool completely for about 5 to 10 minutes. This looks so good, and you know what? It actually reminds me of those mug cakes. And I have to admit, this isn't one of those like quick grab and go breakfasts, but it's well worth the effort. If you guys want to see other variations of these baked oats, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section below. Let's give it a try. This is so yummy. I love these baked oats. It's almost like a pudding souffle all in one. And like I mentioned before, it goes from undercooked to dry very fast. So I always err on the side of undercooking it a little bit so it's like extra creamy. All right, so let's go savory. And I'm actually gonna be infusing my breakfast with one of my favorite vegetables, the asparagus. Yes, asparagus is one of my favorite vegetables, and it's back in season for the spring, so I'm very excited to be cooking it up with some prosciutto and eggs on toast. So sometimes asparagus bottoms can be kind of tough, so what you do is you just hold it and then you bend it and snap. And this is where the tough part comes off, and you get left with a very nice and tender stalk of asparagus. I'm gonna do that to a few of them. So to cook up the asparagus, I'm just gonna heat up my frying pan onto medium-high heat and then drizzle a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to drop the asparagus spears in, season it with some salt and pepper, and while it's cooking, I'm actually gonna add some prosciutto. We're gonna make prosciutto chips. Fry that up together. Once they're done, I'm gonna remove the asparagus and prosciutto, and then we're gonna fry up our egg. You could do this over easy, over medium, whatever you'd like. I kind of like it over easy, especially since we're going to be adding it to our toast. So all the ingredients you find at Kroger or Ralph's for me include the freshest selection of produce from your local farm. So here I have a beautifully toasted slice of sourdough, and I'm going to spread some avocado on top. Perfect avocado! It's going to be a good day. Some lemon pepper on top of the avocados, or cooked asparagus. You can definitely do this on the side too, but I like them all in one bite. Our prosciutto chips, which is a really great alternative to bacon, and it cooks faster. Our egg, and finally our private selection shaved Parmesan cheese. This is a fork and knife type of toast, and I'm totally all about it. The asparagus is so fresh, tender, and the stock is in peak of season, so it just tastes so delicious. Now this looks like a super fancy brunch that you would order at a restaurant, but it was so easy to replicate at home. Prosciutto chips is a revelation, so if you guys have never tried that, definitely give it a try. All right, so if that last one wasn't really your style, but you still want to infuse some veggies into your morning breakfast, I've got a mushroom toast for you. This one is super easy to make too. So in my pan, I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil on medium-high heat, and then I have two types of mushrooms that I got from Ralph's. This one is a sliced shiitake mushroom, and it's so flavorful. Probably one of my favorite mushrooms, and I like to mix it with some sliced baby bellas. Season it with some salt and pepper, saute it for a quick minute, and then I add some sliced onions and garlic to just perfume it. Some fresh thyme, just like a sprig. Is it too early for white wine in here? Because I feel like it would be the perfect complement. But I'm actually just gonna add a little bit of butter. And then a handful of spinach. Just cook everything together, and that's pretty much it. Got my sliced sourdough, and on top of the sourdough, I'm just gonna add a little bit of cream cheese. And then our spinach and mushrooms, they're friends because as you can see, they wilt down to nothing. Finally, some Parmesan, and I'll tell you how it tastes. Super savory, simple, and satisfying. I really love finding ways to infuse vegetables into every single meal, and breakfast, being that it's the most important meal of the day, veggies are essential, and you can always find the freshest produce, berries, pantry goods, whatever you need at your local Ralph's or Kroger's. Give these recipes a try. I wrote them out in the description box below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more delicious recipes. Thank you again to Kroger for sponsoring this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!